It's about relationships. If you're nice and you demonstrate genuine interest in attending their school, I don't think there's any point at which they would actually cut off the negotiations. Even August, even the first week or two of law school itself is not too late for them to accept you. So the dialogue doesn't end. The negotiation doesn't end even after one party walks away. There could be emails, there could be phone calls, there could be Zoom calls. The dialogue can continue. And the way to make yourself as appealing as possible, aside from being nice and establishing connection, is have good numbers. If your numbers are above their medians, they will want to keep negotiating with you as long as they view you as somebody they want at their school. I think people too often err towards not negotiating enough. And then some people try to be the tough, hardball lawyer before actually being a lawyer and go to the polar opposite extreme where you're like, well, I'm just going to walk away. Screw you. You need me more than I need you. That even if it's true, you don't need to say it that way. Just be nice. But if you're nice and you say, listen, I'd love to attend your school, but other school XYZ offered me more money. I'd love to choose you, but I just can't take on all that additional debt on top of whatever other obligations I have, on top of my college debt, on top of family obligations and such. They will try to do what they can to work with you. I want to go into public interest. I want to go into X low-paying profession afterwards. My expected salary for the first 5 years after graduating is going to be this amount. I'm also planning to whatever. So my parents are going to retire and they're not going to be able to support me, or I'm planning to get married and I have to spend X amount for the wedding, X amount for kids and so on in the future. If that's part of your future plans, just making things up here. Like those are all things that are worth considering as well. Or my significant other only makes X, Y, Z. If you have a significant other, that's another factor you can add to the mix. So I think, as Jocelyn's saying here, list your expenses, list your expected cost of living. So let's say if you're planning to go to law school in New York or LA or San Francisco, where the cost of living is very high. So you have your estimated cost of apartment, estimated cost of having a car, estimated cost of food, and so on. That's going to be higher in those locations than if you're attending law school in a suburban or rural area. And so you can factor that in as well. So you could say to a New York-based school, this other school in the New York suburbs or rural New York or whatever else, they've offered me less, but their cost of living is so much lower that it still makes more sense for me to go there. And you should be honest about any other offers. Like schools do talk. They may not talk all the details, but they're all quite friendly with each other overall, especially schools that are roughly comparable. So 2 different schools in Texas or 2 different schools in Southern California. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.